everyone, it's Natalie. Welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing with you a tour of our homeschool space, which is a multi-use space. It's in our kitchen. We use our kitchen table primarily, and then I have these shelves and this cube unit here in the hall where we store everything and display a few things. And I just want to give some inspiration to you guys for what a small homeschool space can be. I want to be an example that it is possible to do homeschooling without having a big dedicated homeschool room. While those are great and I hope someday to have one, this is what we have for now, and I want to take you through everything that we have in this space and share a little bit more with you about how we homeschool our 3 kids. I have twin 5-year-old boys who are doing kindergarten work this year, and then I have a 2-year-old little girl who is doing toddler or like early preschool work. If you guys do want to see a beautiful dedicated homeschool room that's like well stocked and really well put together, then definitely go check out my friend Angela's video. She and I are collaborating on this video, and over on her channel she's going to be sharing with you a homeschool room tour as well. I get a lot of inspiration from Angela's homeschooling, motherhood, lifestyle videos that she makes. She's an awesome gal and I know you'll love her too, and I'm really excited to see her homeschool room tour. I am excited that we get to share this contrast between the 2 different spaces, the 2 different styles, and to share with you guys that homeschooling can work in different capacities, in different spaces, and it doesn't have to look the same for everyone. Angela and I are actually hosting a giveaway for this collab. We're each giving away a $100 Amazon gift card to say thank you to you guys for subscribing to our channels and watching our videos. All of the giveaway details and how to enter and everything is going to be in the description box, so check that out. Good luck to everyone, and if you are new here, if you're heading over here from Angela's video, then welcome to my channel. I make lifestyle and mommy videos and intentional living videos here on this channel every single week. I'd love it so much if you subscribe if you enjoy what you see. But without further ado, let me take you along on this homeschool space tour. Okay, so I'm just going to start from top to bottom on the shelves and then work into what's in the drawers here in the cube unit. So the idea behind what goes on the shelves specifically was actually more with my kids in mind than like my own personal style. If you guys have seen other decor videos of mine, you know I like very minimal, a very neutral color palette. I don't bring in a lot of color, but I wanted this space to be more kid-like, and the boys go to a little kindergarten class a couple of times a week, and there's a lot of color in their classroom, and I wanted to bring more of that into our home classroom. So you'll see a lot more color here than in any part of my house. And if I can, I will link everything in the description box for you guys if you want to check out individual pieces. I have a couple of vintage things up here that they're one of a kind, so I can't link them, but maybe I'll link something similar. But let's start with the top shelf. So this is just a little globe. The one thing that I wanted in our schoolroom was to have a globe. My kids are obsessed with maps and geography for whatever reason. I was kind of like that as a kid too, so a globe was a must-have. And then we have this Bennett sign, which it says established in 2012. That's the year Weston and I got married, and we haven't had a spot for this sign in this house since we moved here, so I was glad to finally get a spot for it. And then we have this plant up here. I want to do like a full house plant tour for you guys, but that's not this video. So this is just a little Mona Lisa lipstick plant. It's adorable, I love it. But moving on to the second shelf, this is kind of like where I keep special books that I don't necessarily want the kids to have access to, because let's be real, kids destroy books, at least mine do. So we have our We Are the Gardeners by Joanna Gaines, and kids, we love reading this book. It's a very special book, and this is going to kind of be the spot for like a seasonal special book. And since it's still summertime and we've got a garden going on outside, we've loved reading this almost every day. And then we have a Devotions for Kids book, a little beginner Bible. We alternate between these two for devotion time in the morning before we start our schoolwork. And then I have the set of the Little House on the Prairie series that I got the kids for Christmas. I actually have my own set that's tucked away in a keepsake box that I got when I was about 4 or 5 years old. It's very, very special to me. So I wanted to put this one out for the kids since we got that for them. And these are more for decoration decoration than anything. I'm not really going to crack into these, but I just really wanted to have something vintage on the shelf. These three right here are vintage hymnals from the 1930s and the 1940s, and I just thought they were super special. And then speaking of Little House on the Prairie, I also have these. These are vintage actually from the early 1900s, the McGuffies. I have the primer, the first reader, and the second reader, and I got these off of Etsy. And so I have these up here too, because I just think it brings in like that classic schoolhouse feel. And next we have our little instant camera. This is a recent addition. I've wanted one of these for a little while, and I thought this year would be the perfect time to start. So we're just gonna take like a few pictures a week and then add them to a little scrapbook and kind of just keep track of what we did this year, like if we go outside and find pretty leaves, or if I want to take a picture of them doing something like a special project or whatever. We actually took this picture this morning. Isn't that so cute?
That's adorable.
That's them doing schoolwork this morning at the table. I just love the look of like a Polaroid or like an instant camera like that, and unlike Polaroids, these don't fade, so I can put them in that book and they'll last forever. And then that brings us down to the third shelf, and I want to show you these little planters. The boys made these for me at their preschool class last year for Mother's Day. They had little perennials in them that died, but we put little succulents in there instead because succulents are much harder to kill. So this one is Liam's, and Judah heard somewhere that my favorite color was purple, which it used to be, so I don't know where he heard that, so he insisted that he painted a purple pot, or a little pot for me. So these are their thumbprints, and the teacher wrote their names and they made a little thumbprint bee, and I just think it's so adorable, and I love the little pop of color that these add. There's another little Polaroid. These are Haley's pee-pee treats. We're potty training with Haley right now, and I like to keep these like out in the open so she sees them for motivation. And then we have these three little bins which we organize like our school writing utensils in. So these are markers. These are the Crayola Color Wonder markers, which they only mark on the Crayola Color Wonder paper, which is really nice because they can't make a huge mess with it, which my kids would do. And then this is like my bin. I keep my pens and pencils. I have Sharpies in there, a pair of scissors, a pencil sharpener out of reach of little fingers. But the boys also use pencils for their schoolwork, but I get it down for them, basically, out of my little bin. And then we have crayons and apparently a sock. If you guys saw my toddler homeschool must-haves video, you saw that we love the twistable crayons, and we have a huge collection of them in this bin. And these bins from Target, you may have seen my homeschool haul video, they were like 2 for $3. They are the perfect size for little markers and crayons and pencils and stuff. So, and then I just made these little labels for them, so that I know what's in them, or if Weston's cleaning up, or if my brother Luke, who comes over and helps me with the kids sometimes, is cleaning up, we know exactly where everything goes. So that's everything on the shelves. And then what we have on top of the cube unit are what we access, or like what I allow the kids to be able to get really quickly. So we have our beloved puzzle rack. I love this so much. The kids can just come over here and grab whatever puzzle they want. And then when they're done with it, they can just slip it right back in and put it away. It's sweet. It works so well. And then we have what they work on every day. So these are the highlights books that I've showed you guys before. The Big Fun Kindergarten Workbook. The boys each have one of these. And then Haley has the Big Fun Preschool Workbook, which she doesn't work much in it yet because she's not quite to the level of this. She's still doing a lot of really early or like toddler preschool work, but I have it out for her and she likes to doodle in it sometimes. I just keep a notebook in here for me as well. And then this is like their favorite thing in our homeschooling room, the little zipper pouch of stickers. So I just have made a little collection of stickers, and some of them are new from my recent homeschool haul, and some of them I've had for a little while, and I just keep them in here zipped up, and when they finish a page or finish a section, I will give them some stickers. They get to pick them out. Haley usually just likes to put them all over her face. And then we have a little bin here with like wooden learning toys or manipulatives, and this is just the little alphabet block collection, and Haley primarily plays with this. And then I actually recently found these at Target when I went back to the little Bullseye's Playground school section. It's a set of blocks that have numbers on them and a set that have letters on them, and you can spell little words or do little math, like simple math equations. And then you guys might remember these. These are such a favorite of mine. The boys aren't really using the math one because that's just a bit beyond them, but we have been able to spell out little 3-letter words with these wooden letter and word spinners. Love these. These go in this box too. We have a KiwiCo little activity that we made, this little bell tambourine. And then our voice levels thing, which usually I just keep this out on the table, but if I am cleaning up or if we're having guests over and we're not using the table for school time, this goes in the little like wood bin. Probably crack this one out when it's closer to Christmas time. This is our how many days until whatever, and it's probably just going to be Christmas. I could probably start that now, honestly. I'm so excited for Christmas. And then we just have these little counting sticks. They're just like little popsicle sticks that are colored, and the boys and I will sit down and lay them out on the table, and we'll say, you know, I have 3 of these sticks, and if I add 1, how many do I have? And it actually gives them like a really good visual as to like simple math, addition and subtraction. So those go there as well. And then I have another bin over here on the other side. This is our library bin. So in the front, I just have the bags that we take with us to the library. This one says, never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Corny and cute phrase, thanks to Target. The boys know that this is the library book bin, and the books in here don't get mixed up with the other books in the house. And that we take care of these books, especially because they don't actually belong to us. We have to give them back when we're done. And speaking of books, I do just want to point out that our collection of books isn't actually stored in this room. The boys have a book sling holder organizer thing in their bedroom that's like really disorganized right now, but that's where the majority of our books are. We also have a drawer in one of the cube units in our living room where they have some toys and they also have some books as well. So we just don't have enough space in this area to store all of the books, but books mainly are a sit on the couch or sit on their bed and read thing, not sit in the schoolroom and read. So that's another reason why I keep them separate. So moving on to the bins down here in the cube storage unit, let's start with this one. Right on top of this bin, we just keep our Play-Doh tray, which just has their little cups of Play-Doh. Keep a Ziploc bag of like the different like cookie cutter things or little tools. Of course, we have a Play-Doh pumper. And then underneath, I just have a bunch of like craft and art supplies. I actually want to refine the way that I do this because I want to get more craft supplies for them, which will require a bigger storage for the crafts themselves. So I'll probably have like a plastic like Sterilite drawer unit or something out in the garage to store all of them. But for now, the small amount of craft supplies that we do have get put in this drawer underneath that little tray of Play-Doh. And underneath that drawer, this is like the coloring and like painting books. So this isn't school-based stuff. This is more of like fun playtime and like, you know, Paw Patrol coloring books and stuff. And here's a good example. I'm always having to reorganize these drawers every other day or so. I have to go back in and like fix the disheveledness of what the kids do. I was just putting these are the Crayola water, it's called Color Wonder sheets in here that those little markers are used for. I just keep them in this little folder. And then in the drawer next to it, this is more of like the homeschooling drawer with other more like educational stuff. So we have my kids' favorite book ever, The Human Body book. They are obsessed with looking at all of the different things, are always looking at the pictures and asking questions and asking me to read this to them. And then I have things in here like Bob books, flashcards. I have a ton of like dry erase activities and resources in here. Alphabet dry erase cards. I also have this unopened set of number dry erase cards. These are the flashcards that we do use regularly in their little flashcard holders, which I love these ones from Target. They have ABCs, shapes and colors, and then like a basic phonics one. And then years ago for their birthday, my friend Teresa and her husband Jim, they're basically like a third set of grandparents to the boys. For their birthday, they got them these little wooden, this is a dry erase side, and then this is a chalk side. And it actually opens up like a little lap desk, and you can keep like the eraser and the chalk pieces and sometimes like the dry erase markers in there. And they just close back up. They have a little handle on the top. I'm not sure where Teresa got these, but I'm gonna try to find something similar to link for you guys. And then I have another little folder here with those little workbooks that you can get at the Dollar Spot. Or Bullseye's Playground, I keep calling it the Dollar Spot. But I have the boys stuff here and then Haley's stuff in this pocket. So these are like anything from pre-K to first grade little books that I will do with them. And then these are like pre-K, preschool little books for Haley. And I want to tear the sheets out, hole punch them, put them in a binder and have more of a loose leaf system. But this is as far as I've gotten so far with that whole thing. And last but not least, in this drawer I have our scripture memory cards, which we just open them up and we grab a new one for the week. This was last week's Be Kind and Loving to Each Other. We made it all the way through the alphabet last year and we're back on B now. And the other side, believe in the Lord Jesus and you will be saved. Can I get an amen? So these two drawers are my stuff, and I've been having kind of a hard time keeping the kids out of what's in here, so I might have to rethink how I'm doing this. I'm one of those people who just like adjusts as I go because I never get it right the first time, honestly, like who does? But in here I just have office supplies basically, so pencil sharpener, I've got rubber bands. I used this when I was teaching high school math, not to my kids obviously, but I did teach high school math to homeschool students in the area, and I always needed my little protractor and compass and ruler set in here. That's for years down the road, but I still keep it on hand. And then I have just, you know, paper clips, tape, extra film for the instant camera, just basic stuff like that. I'll show you what's in here in this little thing in a minute. And then this is my drawer of books of mine, resources. I keep some journals and notebooks in here, christianbook.com little catalog. I also keep little things like thank you notes, little envelopes. I have some like return stamps and postage stamps and stuff like that in there. And then there's not much more to see in the cube unit. This drawer is for my personal mail documents, things that need to be filed, you know, clerical sort of accounting stuff. You don't need to see in there, and I probably have to censor it all out anyway because my address is all over it, and you know, social security number and bank account numbers and everything. And then this drawer, because this space that we use for homeschooling is multi-purpose, this is like the only drawer that has nothing to do whatsoever with homeschooling, but it's just like where I keep hot pads, fancy napkins, runners, stuff like that for when we entertain, or like if I want something to be set out on the table for dinner. So this half of the cube unit, or this 2/3 of it, is definitely more of like the homeschooling stuff. But speaking of this little bin that I said I would tell you about, mainly it's the little felt things that we put on this little banner. I also got this at Target and we use this every day. We love it so much. This is the date that this video is going live. I'm filming it before this date, but every morning it's blank. I take it down every night, and then the kids help me. We talk about what day of the week it is, the date, what month we're in, what the weather is like that day, although they are missing a couple of weather scenarios that we have a lot of the time here in Washington. They don't have just cloudy. Then we talk about our feelings. Today, one of us, I won't mention who, but one of us was feeling quite angry. But we just put our emotions for the morning, how we're feeling. And sometimes we do change this throughout the day. We've had sometimes where one of my kids will be like, Mom, you need to put the surprised face up there, because apparently they were feeling surprised at that one point. And then, of course, the season. And then this banner, it's just on a little 3M hook. And typically, we actually use this over here. I put a little clear 3M hook over on this spot, and I hang it up there, so that I don't have a bright green banner on my wall in my kitchen. Then I do have a sneaky little hook over here under this corner where I hang our United States banner that we have, which we haven't really used much yet, but I wanted it to be separate so that the two banners could hang side by side. I could also hang like a light roll out dry erase thing, which I don't have yet, but that's just a couple of ideas for what we do with the hooks and with the banners. And then moving over to the table, just a basic, small, low kitchen table. and we put it up against the wall just because this space is small and we save a lot of space by not having a sixth chair on the end since there's only 5 of us. But if we do have guests over, it's no problem just to push it out from the wall, add the chair that we have extra that we store out in the garage. But for now, especially for school time, this works really well for us. I usually sit at this chair and I'll have either boy on each side of me. Usually Haley sits in my lap because she's a mama's girl and she likes to be right there with me. But if she is doing little puzzles or little coloring or whatever, sometimes she'll sit in one of these chairs at the end. That's also why I keep my centerpiece like against the wall, just to give us room to work. But we switch out this space and interchange it like depending on what we need, because we don't have this as our permanent homeschool space. It's also our dining table. I also use this as an office sometimes if I'm doing like taxes or whatever. I'll spread it all out on the kitchen table, and this table, it gets a lot of love. And I think that's everything to show you in our homeschool space. I do want to add that this isn't the sum total of where we do our schoolwork. We're definitely not confined to this space to learn, and that's something that I want to encourage you guys in. You don't have to have a big room or even this big of a room to do school. I've done school as a kid in the van with my mom, or at the library, or with friends at their house. I mean, there's so many different ways that you can homeschool, but this is just what we have for now. A lot of the time we just have like learning conversations, and we like try to foster a learning environment in our home wherever we're at in our home. Sometimes I just sit on my bed and read to the kids, and we learn so much, and we have like really good conversations, and the kids are always like curious wherever we're at, whether it's in our homeschool space or somewhere else. So that is everything that I have to show you in this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so I know to do more videos like this in the future. And definitely don't forget to check out my friend Angela with her room tour. She's a gorgeous homeschool room. I think her homeschool content is the best on YouTube, and I'm so honored that she wanted to collab with me for this video. So go over to her channel, send her some love, check the description box for our giveaway details and how to enter. Good luck to everyone who enters the giveaway, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day wherever you are. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you later.